Welcome to the Fischer-Z 50th anniversary audio series, where I've picked my favourite tracks over the years. I'm going to share the story of those tracks and a lot more.
Thanks, John. And as a reminder, my name is Martin Bull, and I'll be hosting and helping John curate his way through all of his favourite tracks. And this episode features the track World Go Round from the album This Is My Universe from 2016 and Damascus Disco from the 2017 album Building Bridges. Let's get into it.
Can music change the world? Can love cure everything? What makes your heart beat fast? What gets under your skin? What makes your world go round? What makes your world go round? I've known you for some time, but you know more about me. It's time to write a song of spontaneity. What makes your world go round? What makes your world go round? If you could choose to change your face, your sex, your skin, and metamorphosize, would you still let me in? What makes your world go round? What makes your world go round? Can music change the world? Can love cure everything? What makes your heart beat fast? What gets under your skin? What makes your world go round? 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 What makes your
World Go Round. Oh no, that one originally, there was songs written for people to do with, for fans. And I wrote that for some very loyal couple in Belgium that have always followed Fischer-Z around. I think that it was a case when I think I was writing songs. Something that I did individual songs for everybody to fund something, because we were years ahead of our time with we didn't have the social media help, which is a great shame, because what Sarah and I were doing, traveling around the universe, recording bits on floors and things, it would have been absolutely marvelous, but it didn't exist then. That's what everybody does now, so it's not news. But World Go Round, yes. I mean, it's lightweight, existential, what you're up to sort of thing. I just think it's a real self-explanatory job, really.
Do you want me to read the lyrics?
Yeah, go on, read it.
He goes, can music change the world? Can love cure everything? What
Yeah.
makes your heart beat fast and what gets under your skin? What makes your world go round?
It's as simple as it sounds. It's only about what makes your world go round. The story about it is the fact that it was kind of commissioned for two of the top fans in Belgium. I was writing songs for people at that stage, and and I asked them because it was really good. I asked them if I could include it in on a record because it was a at one stage I did. I got one of the I can't remember which one it was. Was it More Than Music, whatever it was, or one of the other albums? Early on, I wrote 37 different songs for people and financed the whole album. But before people did that, it was 15, 20 years ago actually.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It hasn't got a particular story to it, other than the fact it was for them. And they're people. They actually set up at times when things have been up and down. At one times when it was a bit down, they actually set up a show for me. I think a solo one in their like their village with lots of people. So it didn't end up being a nice gig. I was doing things like living room concerts at that stage.
Oh, yes.
Go around to people's living rooms, and you do things. Well, and that they were quite good in some ways, except that everyone you get a nutter at that. It's not usually the person who's booked you. One of their friends wants to come. They say, "Can we have two or three friends?" And the friend is usually, ideologically extremely unsound.
So why did this make the list then? Well, go round if it's not one that instantly you recall.
Well, not to it's just what you mean that I'm talking about the one song, yeah.
Yeah, well, go round. Yeah, but we can talk about This Is My Universe.
It's not my song; it's somebody else's song.
Right.
I wrote it for them because they wanted that.
Okay. But you chose that as one of your favourites.
What else is on that record? Just a matter of interest.
Yeah, so you've got some cracking tunes on this one.
Yeah.
So you've got Winston.
Yeah. Well, I know. Of course, this is two-piece with Sam. There's fantastic stories in that album. I love that album. We were a two-piece at the same time as the White Stripes and the Black Keys came through. And obviously, I was amazed since there's been journalists gone to speak to Jack White. I think I told you the story of that maybe. They went to see Jack White, and he'd asked who the journalist had interviewed in Brighton. Big journalist, one of the most famous Dutch journalists, and he was in Nashville interviewing Jack White, and this was about this record. So this is very relevant actually. So he said, Jack White said, "What have you been doing last?" And the guy said, "I've been in England, in Brighton. I've been interviewing Nick Cave, in Nick Cave, and another bloke you won't have heard of." So Jack White said, "Who's that then?" And he said, "Oh, John Watts of Fischer-Z." He said, "Ah!" And he rushed out the studio and he came back with, what was it? The black and white record that's got a sequel. Not It Has to Be. Real Life Is Good Enough. He got a copy of that because we were contemporaries of theirs. And so Sam and we were flying at that particular moment. That was the second one I made with Sam, I think, or whatever. But Sam Walker, amazing drummer. He worked with me for 10 years. Yes, give me some other examples on there.
I will do. Yes. Okay. So you got Just Like Justice.
Yeah.
Which is a terrific tune.
Yeah.
Just a Man.
Oh, yeah.
Tale of Bales.
Oh, I like that.
Another cracker.
It's time to leave our broken cause. This outrage shows good war gone bad. Forlorn and faithless flies the flag. You war-torn men from ravaged towns, where many fronts are out of hand. America and Afghanistan. La 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 la. This tale of bales treading on a broken eggshell. Your GI towns have sacrificed. Your kith and kin have paid the price for signing up while our stocks flounder. La 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 la. This tale of bales treading on a broken eggshell. This tale of bales treading on a broken eggshell. Goes la 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 la. This tale of bales treading on a broken eggshell. forever scarred, forever burned. The veterans try to back our cause.
Taylor Bells is really interesting. It's about an officer. It's about a sergeant. It's sergeant in the U.S. Army, I think. Remember, it was an army story.
Yes. Good war gone bad. War-torn men from ravaged towns.
That's right.
Where many fronts are out of hand. America and Afghanistan.
Oh, that's right. Yes. I mean, Taylor Bells. That album, I mean, obviously, I think that's one of the ones we don't play many of from.
No.
So also, I think it's confusing. There's because you've got sitting next to you, you've got one of the other ones. You got the one with the ring piece on it.
Building Bridges.
Yes, I'm thinking Building Bridges, I think, probably.
Yeah. This has got the incredibly named Martha Thargill.
That's good. That's political, isn't it?
Yes, I guess that.
That's old Arthur, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
A man who single-mindedly lost enormous numbers of miners' jobs by not dealing with it very well. Is very much like the socialist worker carrying people at universities. There has to be you have to be able to express a political idea in a way that a large number of people can find it acceptable. If you just preach to the converted and the extremists, you never get anything done and you don't get into government. The miners thing would have always the mines would have closed, but they would have closed in a totally different way, and the whole communities wouldn't have been decimated, and there wouldn't have been. I mean, still, if you get, I mean, police don't like a lot of old folks up in in Yorkshire and places who battle with the police, and in Wales they hate them. There's certain pubs in those places that won't admit policemen. Bitterness, unnecessary bitterness created by Arthur. I can't remember the detail. I was certainly on about it in that song. As was on one of the great unlisted Fischer-Z songs that appears somewhere, Dark Crowds of Englishmen.
Yeah.
That was a triumph. Ian Porter did the backing track for that, Made Out of All Industrial Noises, and that was the miners' strike song. Nobody did one. A lot of people did benefits for the miners, but that should have gone out. It was very current. I love that. I sometimes play that. I like that.
Okay, so you took, this is quite a gap, between More Than Music and This Is My Universe. So you had like almost like your biggest gap of recorded output. I don't know if you remember why that was.
I don't remember it being quite that big a gap. What did I do in the middle of that then? I did the last.
I was going to ask what was going on.
I did the last Picasso play in that hole then, probably. We did shows. What was going on? I mean, I can't remember. 2010. That's odd. It amazes me. Because I'm always writing lots of stuff. So
you had Heart of New York in the middle of it. 2011 that was.
I think what must have happened that maybe the stuff was recorded a long time before it was released. I don't know. I can't ever remember having a 6-year gap. I mean, over the next bit from 1 year ago until 5 years time, in that 6-year period, there will be 6 records.
Yeah.
It's most unusual.
All right, well, should we move on to Damascus Disco?
Oh, I love that one.
Unlucky people lose their heads. Little children bombed out of bed. Familiar beaches are killing fields. Human traffic across the world. From Damascus to Baghdad, liberation has gone bad. No grand solutions, no place to hide. The banks are broken, can't stem the tide. If we build bridges with love, hey, hey, it might be enough when you fight monsters, you know. Hey, hey, you become monsters too. Unlucky people lose their heads. Little children bombed out of beds. Familiar beaches are killing fields. There's human traffic across the world. If we build bridges with love, hey, hey, it might be enough when you fight monsters, you know. Hey, hey, you become monsters too. Let's listen to Nietzsche. Damascus Disco. From Damascus to Baghdad, there's liberation, and it's gone bad. No grand solutions, no place to hide. The banks are broken, can't stem the tide. We build bridges, wait long. Hey, hey, it might be enough when you fight monsters, you know. Hey, hey, you become monsters too. Let's listen to Nietzsche, that wise old teacher. Bring San Francisco to Damascus Disco. If we build bridges with love, hey, hey, might be enough. When you fight monsters, you know.
Now that's the album with Jamie, with my son-in-law. We did that as with Bryony producing. That was down in Monmouth-ish, on the border down there. Yeah, I mean that was just. Damascus Disco is one of my top 10 songs of all time, Fischer-Z songs, because it's a political song that actually dances, and it's a very popular live tune. It's one of the last 3 on a picked set list always. It just works so well.
And it's about what?
It's about the thing that people suffer. The ordinary people suffer, not the military thing. Unlucky people lose their heads. I mean, that's definitely a Middle East tune, but in the same way as Further From Love's the universal thing about, the innocents always suffer, and Battalions of Strangers is about the innocents always suffer, and Damascus Disco brings it up to the Middle East. And the idea of, if you build bridges. Oh, yeah, of course, the album's called Building Bridges, isn't it? If you build bridges with love. And then I'll talk about Nisha in there somewhere.
You do? Let's listen to Nisha. Yep.
Yeah.
That wise old teacher.
Yeah. No, Damascus Disco, it's funky as well. I mean, it's a very funky 2-piece song. It had a really good video with it.
I was just going to say, do you remember the video? Yeah.
Jamie was in it, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say who were in it, because it was really well edited, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, everything about that period of time was really good. And that was what,
2017 that was.
Oh, we know what that was. That was an upbeat, a big upbeat in my personal life. So that was good. We were flying at that point. Jamie and I were down there recording very quickly and very naturally. And I remember remarkable Indian meals off the M4 on the way down, making that record. And Bryony's a genius, the guy we were engineering and producing with. He was a co-op on the Oasis sessions when he was 17, when they were hitting one another with cricket bats, and they were absolutely awash with debauchery. And somebody left and came back again. Bryony's great. He's a producer who works in Wales. He's Welsh, and he's also got a studio in Spain. But he's just a remarkable man. Very fast, top engineer. He used to work at Rockfield, you see, where the Queen did their famous piano, and Sabbath did their first record, and
Dave Edmunds.
Yeah, Dave Edmunds.
Yeah, Rock Farm.
You've been there. It really is an odd place. It's a farm. It is actually a farm. The bloke who owns it, he was always pretty eccentric. If he's still alive, he got more. He's absolutely fucking barking, and his daughters kind of run the place. But some of the best studios I've ever been to in England and also in America, the most ramshackle ones. They look like you couldn't get a decent record out of them, but they've got something, including being haunted. I think part of the corner of Rockfield. Been down there a lot, playing football down there. Or I'll never forget the guy, the best bass player I've ever played with in my life, Phil Spalding, who's now sadly dead. Phil was down there with us. He's done many records. He did many records with many big people. But down there, he said he'd had trials for Arsenal. And with Phil, he's done so many things. I just, has he? I don't know. When they were knocking a football about, Jesus, he was good. He was so good. Anybody who's played professional level, I mean, I've played high level, but not professional level, obviously. I remember we were at university and we had five-a-side teams, and one of the other five-a-side teams had a player in it. I think he was studying later. He was about 35, but he'd been in those days just a second division player, so not a Premier League the next. But even that was ridiculous. He's just so much stronger and faster and had bigger legs than everybody else. That's what I remember.
I was going to ask actually, more the music was under the John Watts name, and This Is My Universe and Building Bridges then all switched over to Fischer-Z.
It all went back to Fischer-Z. But I say Damascus Disco heavily. I mean, there's lots of great stuff on that. I've got a lot from that album, which means I really rate it. Damascus Disco, I like. Wild, 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 I like. Barbera Sunlight, I like. And the cracker is There's a Wilderness Here. Is amazing. But I had to choose Damascus Disco or There's a Wilderness Is. And there's also Row Boys Row. That was a very, very good record.
There is. And there's So Close.
Yeah, I got that one as well. That's on
Okay, good. Because that's a great song.
Yeah.
I came in innocent. You were in a trance, setting up as a priestess. I was speechless. My life was a playground. I jumped off all the swings. It didn't seem to matter if I fall. Oh, you were so close, so damn close, so damn close to me, till the wall. So damn close, so damn close to me, till the wall. Put those roses on your coffin. I'm sure that I can't live it anymore. I sat up in the heavens, and I tried to breathe with the best of intentions. I mentioned my life was a playground. I jumped off all the swings. It didn't seem to matter if I'd fall. You were so close, so damn close, so damn close to me, to the wall. So damn close, so damn close to me, to the wall.
So why was that so good then? Why was 2017 so positive?
Well, it was good both professionally and personally. I've been working with Sam, and then I started to work with Jamie. I hadn't made a record for a while, but I didn't know it was that long. And Jamie was listening to the songs. He just said, "That's great." And I said, "Well, why don't you do them with me?" Because at that point, Sam wasn't available because he was doing all his own stuff. And Jamie and Sam have got something of the same ethos. I mean, both of them, they're not jazz drummers, but the attitude of a jazz drummer is they play with the singer and with the overall groove, not lay down a big thumping, crunching beat, because I don't take any notice of drummers. And like with jazz bands, if your lead person's a piano player, then they follow the piano player. If the lead person's a trumpeter, they follow the trumpet. And so with me, what's very funny is they're trying to organise a band for me in Australia. And I was talking to the musical director, and I think he looked a little bit concerned, because normally a music director is often a keyboard player. I think that's what he wanted to do. He was trying to organise a band, obviously, to play with me in Australia. When I said to him, I start everything, I don't listen to the rhythm section at all, and I never stick to the same arrangements. It means that really a musical director has not got a role at all. I'm the musical director. And not only that, I direct it from the stage that day. I don't know how I'm going to do it. There's nothing prearranged. I've never made the same announcements. Totally. I've never done the same two shows. I mean, talking wise, I was absolutely dismayed. I talked to a friend of mine in a band in Germany, a big one, and the guitar player, who I'm a big friend of, said the singer said the same things. He'd worked out what he was going to say between the songs. And even Brucey's bad like that. I saw Brucey at two shows and he told the same stories in the same places. which really shocked me because I thought, I mean, I look out into the audience and don't know what I'm going to say. They absolutely, stimulate. I mean, next year's just going to be so funny when they're looking for me on the stage and I'm not there.
How do the other musicians cope with that then? Because obviously they can't. Obviously they know the songs, but they can't plan for the live event, or do
No,
they?
no, they can't. Well, they plan for the fact it's going to be random, if you see what I mean. They prepare themselves for organized chaos. And if I don't like something, it's not going well, I'll stop. And most people don't do that if I'm just not liking it.
Presumably some musicians will find that difficult.
Yeah. But then if they do, they wouldn't work with me for very long.
Yeah.
Then to be, I'm very proud of the fact most people will always have a go. If they hear the music and they hear what I've done, they usually like to try it. But I mean, it depends. But the most important thing, I think, from the point of view, if you from a band leader, is to have a vision. If you know what you want, otherwise you drive people crazy. I know what I want clearly from each show. I know what I want in the studio. I know what I'm trying to do, and so that's quite military in a way. But they need to follow me. But that's the essence of entertainment and performance rather than just musicianship. And there's great front men in bands and front people, front men and front women, of course. And people do things in different ways. Some people kind of have like a religious service, like Bono. Other people just steam through with a kind of just an energy and aggression, like Weller. Then you've got the political fronts, like Bill, people like Bill. And then you've got Mr. Cool, like Nick Cave. So they've all got their way. My way is it's a little bit music hall, to be honest. In the presentation, I was always described as a cheeky chappy, and that's not an insult. That's fine. But except my speech has got a political and a serious political edge as well.
The audiences expect that from you, though, don't they?
Yeah, and they're getting more and more of it. It's the band. I mean, the band will have chairs and things this time, so they can sit down if we're doing theatre stuff. When I'm talking, they get bored. I like sit down shows. I really do. You need a lot more energy than a normal rock show. Ever such a lot more energy because there's nothing there. It's a big dead space, which is wonderful. So it's a blank canvas. You can do what you want, and I'll look at the audience and I'll look at those people and I'll see what I think needs doing. The idea of getting choices from them, which is what we'll do next year. I don't know what's coming. Will there just be we will do a fixed set in the second half, so those things won't be choices because they'll already be in the second set. But I don't know what's coming. It'll all be in the wrong order. Normally, when you plan a set, it's all about pace and keys and speed. The idea is lovely, stopping, playing something, stopping, working out who does what next, listening to their stories, listening to be very rude. Some people, they'll hate it, which is good. There'll be people shouting at me not to do it. This is great. And there'll other things that people love. The idea of music and art is not to tell people what to think. I just want to make them think a bit. I want to shake them out of I don't want them to be in too much of a comfort zone. I want them to, you know, again, you think it must be good. If you're doing that, then the songs have got to be really well played. They've got to be great so that people think, oh, yes. And what's funny is somebody will choose something. And if you've been doing it as long as we have, then what'll happen? It seems an obscure one. And then you'll find a lot of other people in the audience go, oh, fuck it. Yeah, I didn't think of that one.
The 50th anniversary isn't about you recreating your 80s
But that's normally what
time.
people would expect. I mean, for instance, even the likes of Jim and the Simple Minds mob. I mean, it's now a cabaret act. When you get your backing singer singing Bowie songs in the middle of your set, you might as well be over a chicken dinner in a pub. But it is. But that's their audience because that's what they want. Most of them. There are the youngies, obviously, as well. But their biggest stuff. What bands normally do, as you know, they go up and they come down in a relatively sensible curve. My career doesn't work like that at all. I walked straight away from it and then re-established it again, then walked away from it again. So you can't judge it. And because of that, I think my career has been much more interesting because of that. If I'd have stayed with it on a big Fischer-Z thing, I would have wanted to go far more left field. And so I would have bumped against the majors as I always would. It's just I would have had chance to have the finance to do maybe 5 or 6 albums at least after those, which were very well financed. And God knows where that would have gone. But on the other hand, at that point, I'd got fed up with that, I think. And I think I'd have gone into film. I think I'd have gone into writing and directing film. I've still got a film in me. Okay,
All
mate.
right.
Good.
Nice talking. We'll be in touch.
Definitely. Later. See
See
you.
you later.
Unlucky people lose their heads. Little children bombed out of beds. Familiar beaches, hidden fields. Human traffic across the world. From Damascus to Baghdad, liberation has gone bad. No grand solutions, no place to hide. The banks are broken, can't stem the tide. If we build bridges with love, hey, hey, it might be enough. When you find monsters, you know, hey, hey, you become monsters too. Unlucky people lose their heads. Little children bomb out of bed. Familiar beaches, hidden fields. Human traffic across the world. If we build bridges with love, hey, hey, it might be enough. When you find monsters, you know, hey, hey, you become monsters too. Listen to Nietzsche, that grand old teacher, bring San Francisco to Damascus Disco. Up from Damascus to Baghdad, oh, liberation has gone mad. No grand solution, no place to hide. Got bad and broken, can't stem the tide. If we build bridges with love, hey, hey, it might be enough. When you find monsters, you know, hey, hey, you become monsters too. Listen to Nietzsche, that grand old teacher, from San Francisco to Damascus Disco.
Thanks, John, for those brilliant stories. The next episode features the track No Bohemia from the album Swimming in Thunderstorms in 2019 and Cuban Rain from the 2021 album Till the Oceans Overflow. See you all then.
Thank you for listening to the Fischer-Z 50th anniversary audio series. I hope you enjoyed it. Look out for the next episode. Come on.